Hey everyone, this is my second video to let you guys know what the activity is for the next couple of weeks. We're on activity 2 of the month of September and the 4th activity of this semester. So we're kind of in the middle because there's 9 activities this semester. So we're going to dig a little deeper tonight. This activity is titled What I Hate About Death. There are 2 really strong words in that sentence. One being hate, and I hate the word hate, but it kind of goes with the theme of the heaviness of the word death, the second word that's really strong in that. So, death is a stigmatized word, it's a scary word, it's a word that a lot of the kids don't use that often, and that's why as a volunteer we do use the word death, died, dying, just to really educate and keep them in the loop of why we're here at Valerie's house and why we're all together. So the activity, What I Hate About Death, is a mix of a fun, messy activity, but it's also going to be a little bit heavy. So we're starting the night by letting the kids know that we're talking about death tonight and the things that we dislike or hate about death. Then at the end of the night, we will try, time permitting, to wrap it around and end on a more positive note and talk about healthy coping skills and ways we can act or react in the moments that we're really hating death and hating our situation and our story, really, because we're all upset that our person died. So we'll start in the group, obviously, rules, check-in, all that good jazz, and then we'll start and discuss what does death mean. We'll discuss open it to the group, ask them what does that word mean to you. They may say that it's scary, that it's sad. As a volunteer, you can say that if they don't point this out themselves, which of course they always point out the great stuff, you can say that we're all here because it's all affected us. Like death has affected all of us. So as the facilitator, we have, the materials in the room are cotton balls, whiteboard, expo markers, and a bowl of water. So we will, as a volunteer facilitator, write the word death at the top of the whiteboard. Then you'll sit back down and let the kids really do the work. So you'll ask the group to start sharing the things that they hate or dislike about death. So as they're sharing, they can each walk up to the board and with an expo marker, color choices, all of that, they'll write that word or thought or phrase or situation, anything that they dislike about death. Give each child a chance to write as many words on that board as they want. You can fill it, you can not fill it, you can do, your group is unique to you, so you can figure that out as a group. If you want any examples to keep in your mind, let the kids, of course, make their own decisions on what they hate about death, but just examples that I have or how the person died, the situation with a doctor, the people they blame, death in general, why people die, the questions they have after they die. Maybe they hate the fact that they don't know where their person is now, etc. Allow them to express any negative emotion around the word death, grief, loss, anything. So allow them to just write all those words on the board. Then always remember to use reflection. So as a child saying or writing a word, we can reflect back what that word is. They may elaborate more on that or tell you more about that, or other kids will chime in and say more about that. So always reflect on that. Let's see. Also be sure to make connections, make relationships with the children. So if one kid is nodding their head to another word that's put on the board, make that connection so that we know that they're not alone. And that's really what we want to do here. So after all the words and thoughts are on the board, allow each child to grab 1 or 2, depending on your group, cotton balls. They're going to be like big size cotton balls. They'll dip them in the water. I'll make the bowl small so there's not a big mess. And then they'll get to throw it at the board. I think this idea is as simple and easy in itself that they get to throw it and release some of that energy and that anger and that hatred towards death. As they're throwing the cotton balls, they'll stick, but also the words will wash away from the board. So the idea of that is that all those scary, hateful things about death are kind of washing away when we're all in this together. And that is really what we want them to visualize and see, because kids like that vision. Then let's see, they can, if you want to add something to it, they can choose a word on the board as they're throwing and like aim at that word, or maybe say the word out loud. And that way they have like a fun time with it, just getting the word out. The second part of the activity, as I said, is ending sort of on a positive note. So with all of these things that we hate about death, what do we do with it now? This activity is going to bring out some anger, some regret, or just confusion maybe. So what do we do with all of these feelings in a healthy way? So allow the group to discuss and share healthy coping skills when they are feeling overwhelmed or upset or hate about their situation, because as we say all the time, they were cheated and it's not fair that their person died. So just as a group, just talk on a healthy, positive note. What can we do when we're feeling upset? Each group can either discuss these coping skills. You can clean off the whiteboard and write other healthy coping skills on the board. You can play charades, acting out healthy coping skills. Maybe we'll write one on a note card and the kids can act it out. And we may have puppets in at least the littles' rooms, so we can use puppets to act out the coping skills. And don't worry about time. It's okay if you don't get to it, but somehow end on a positive note. What is something that is positive? What went well? I always ask my 3 W's. So that is the activity. Purpose is just to identify these feelings that we hate about death and grief and loss, and hopefully end on a positive note and talk about coping skills. Thank you all for watching, and please let me know if you have any questions. If there's anything you need to tell me, go ahead and email me, text me, call me, however you want. But thank you so much, and we will see you in the next couple of weeks.